everything here ready. Hey, welcome back to another video. My podcast. I'm your host, Roiss. Yes, and I have a co-host, my water bottle. You know, when you get thirsty, you gotta drink sometime, right? So, yeah. Take a little sip. Because when you be talking, you get parched. Your throat and your mouth and everything gets all dried up. And when you're talking in the middle, it's so dry that you can't even speak properly. So, yeah, welcome back. We have a good topic today, and I'm not hating on anybody or anything like that. This can basically happen to anybody, and everybody trusts on dating apps and all that stuff to find the person that you want to meet. So yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about. And after that, move on to another topic, somewhat relating to that. But this one caught my attention because this also happened to me before, and I had a buddy of mine comment or said to me that why am I doing that, or why am I doing this, and you don't even know the person, and you guys haven't even met, you actually haven't even seen each other on the camera or talked. I mean, I did talk to that person on the phone, and this was way back. The time we had the platform of Friendster and MySpace. This was before Facebook or anything else, right? So before Instagram and all that other stuff. Let me just adjust my mic here. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, what was I saying? My mind just wandered off when I was fixing my mic. Yeah, there you go. I'm just looking at my notes, and this is prevalent. I think this happens to, I would say, a lot of the people, and it's just not a good experience, right? It's the same with me. I was expecting something out of it, but it didn't turn out the way I expected it to be. So this is what I've been hearing, and I've watched it, so I'm giving my opinion and my thoughts on it. Like I said, I'm not hating on anyone or anything like that. Not all people are like that, so just keep that in mind. This one is romance in different countries, and I have a buddy who went through this also. This is for anyone who is older and decides to retire in the Philippines, right? And a lot of this happens to the white men, and they are, of course, retired, and they are over 60, and there's a term for that. It's called a love scam, because they meet people online, on a dating app and all that stuff, and they become the victim or a target that happens to these retirees, older gentlemen, wanting to settle down in the Philippines, and they want to meet somebody. And I would say it's half half, because sometimes it is a success and sometimes it's not, right? So let's define what a love scam means, because even I was surprised it actually has a name, a love scam. So I'm just reading off here. It says a romance scammers create fake profiles on dating sites and apps, or contact their targets through popular social media sites like Instagram, Facebook, or Google Hangouts. The scammers strike up a relationship with their targets to build their trust, sometimes talking or chatting several times a day. Then they make up a story, which leads to asking money. And I've watched other YouTubers themselves. They've gone around and interviewed the people there, which are called Expat. An expat is a white male, or any male for that matter, that wants to settle down in Philippines, because yeah, Philippines is like a paradise. It's a beautiful country. Even I, like, has been there 3 times in my life, and I love it. And I really do want to move there, and but you need resource, you need income, to sustain yourself in that country, right? Even though it is affordable, but you always got to have a budget when you do live there. So these are the things that the expat had mentioned, um, when they're on a dating site, when they meet a young lady there, that they want to settle down, and you know to live life in that sort of paradise. But when they do arrive to Philippines, or anywhere in the country for that matter, it doesn't turn out the way they expect it to be. So these are often what the scammers usually say when they meet the expat, or the person that they're talking to on the dating sites, on the app, and all that stuff. They don't tell the truth, and a lot of these are a lot of the people that targets these retired expats are the Filipina girls. And I'm not saying that all Filipino girls are like that, but a good handful of Filipina girls are like that. They don't they don't tell the truth when they put up a profile about themselves. So they would say, like, uh, they have a job, they they work here, they work there, they work at an airport, doing this and that. It's just a whole lot of things that they put on their profile, which is not true. They don't put on the profile that the fact that they have a boyfriend, or they have 2 kids. And so these expats, or the people that wants to retire in Philippines and start dating and all that stuff, they don't know the whole truth until they arrive there, until uh, they they get there and then realize that, oh, this was all just a scam. And the number one things that they say, because they've experienced that already, is don't give money to them. If they ask, just don't give money to them. The scammers will ask you to pay by wiring money, transferring money to them. Um, uh, Give them, like, cards that has money and all that stuff. They'll entice them to help them build a house for them, so that when they do come to the Philippines, they have everything ready. They have everything all set for them and all that stuff. But there was one story that I was reading where an expat was on a dating site, and he met a really young woman, and they either are between 18 to, I'd say, 25 years old. And that's the thing that really gets to me sometimes. Like, okay, a retired guy in his 60s or 65 or even 70 wants to retire in the Philippines because of all the good things that they heard while they were in their own country, which is the US or Canada or wherever country. And he said that, oh, Philippines has all of the good things there. Good beaches, good malls and cities and all that stuff. But most especially, they have beautiful women there. Yeah, I can guarantee you, when I went to the Philippines 3 times, there were a lot of beautiful women, and we don't even know like at what age they are, because a lot of, like I said to other people too, and a lot of the people had mentioned this, that Asian people, we look younger than our age, and which is true. I mean, look at me, right? If you look at me, how old do I look like? Exactly, right? You wouldn't say like, oh, you're 50 and above. No, I'm not 50 and above. I'm in my 40s, but I won't tell you exactly what age that is. Just say I'm in my 40s. Does this look like a 40-year-old and above type of person? We look young as Asian people. Some people just don't age very well, and some people are just gifted when they age. They still look young. But anyways, I'm like going back and forth. But I feel bad for these retirees, these expat that just wants to have, you know, a good life in the Philippines because of all the good things that they hear when they're here in their own country, in Canada or US or anywhere. And they just want to have a better life, and yet they've been taken advantage of because of these young Filipino girls. And I'm not discriminating them or anything like that, or putting them down. I mean, it is a controversial topic also, but it is the truth. These are facts. These are the things that happen. And as I'm reading here also, I mean, they, because it's true. These are the things that they have written. And if you ever go on YouTube and type those up, expat being scammed in the Philippines or taken advantage of, you'll see a whole lot. It's good that these other YouTubers interview these expats, and they make them aware and let the people outside of Philippines aware that if you do come to the Philippines to retire, that you are prepared, because they'll just eat up or use up all of your resources, all of your savings, your income that comes in, and and that's not fair, because you work so hard on that, and then just to be taken advantage of afterwards. But that being said, also, I mean, these expats, they have to understand that if you move to the Philippines and retire, don't expect good things to come out of it. For example, like don't spend so much time at a bar, and then you're try to pick up some young ladies, because you will know, like, they might take advantage of you, and then what? It becomes a priority, right? After you guys start dating and all that stuff. I also made some notes here, but I forgot to pull it out. Yeah, because as these are some of the notes that I've experienced myself, and a buddy of mine that experienced that also. Um, the reasons why expat goes to the Philippines is to escape responsibilities that they have here in here in Canada or the US or wherever they're living at, right? But once you arrive in Philippines and you meet these young ladies, it it puts you back into that situation where it becomes your priority, and then next thing you know, your planning seems to be a major requirement when you meet that person, because you meet that person, you guys get to talking and all that stuff, and the next thing you know, you got priorities. You gotta take care of the family also and all that stuff, and they have all complained that they've run out of resources because they kept on asking for money, right? And the sad thing too is when they run out of resources, they don't want you anymore, and that's sad, because, like, you work so hard and you give priority to them, and then just to be taken advantage of. I mean, these are the things that they need to understand. But who am I to say, right? Because I've never went that far. So this is my story. I did meet a girl. This was way back at the time of the platforms that we had, which was Friendster and MySpace, before Facebook. So I met her online, but she had a different picture, and I probably like talked to her about 2 to 3 months before I gave up, because I just been asking and asking, like, how do you actually look like? What's your picture? Because it she had a different picture on there, and it was a cute picture, beautiful picture, but um, I knew it wasn't her. And so for the past 2 or 3 months, I've been asking her, and she's like, yeah, I'll put my real picture up and all that stuff. But at the same time, I was naive. I didn't know better when I was younger. I would say, like, in my early 20s. But anyways, yeah, like, it was like she she kept on asking for money. And so, yeah, I sent her money through Money Mart, and it was going good. I was talking to her on a weekly basis, and that turned into, like, every 2 weeks she was asking, oh, I'm running out of money and this and that. Meanwhile, she was telling me that she has a job, she was working and all that stuff. So why are you asking money from me if you have a job? Oh, because it's not enough. I need to pay for this and that. So out of my good heart, I said, okay, I'll give money. But then it just kept on persisting and persisting that she needs money from me, until a buddy of mine one day, because I told him we need to go to Money Mart, and so that I can send this girl uh, money. And he was like, why? You guys haven't even seen each other, or she hasn't shown you her real picture and all that stuff. You shouldn't be doing that. And I said, yeah, you're right. So I'll just do this last time, and that's it. I'll cut her off, and that's what I did. You know, after sending that money over, I asked her one last time. I said, "Where's your real picture? I want to see how you actually look like." But it just she just wasn't giving it to me. So after that, I didn't really say that's it for us. I'm not gonna talk to you anymore or anything like that. I just changed my phone number. That's all I did. Just changed my phone number and all that stuff. So that's that's when I realized that, there's something fishy going on here. So, and yeah, I've just remembered that that person is from South Cotabato, I think. I can't remember, but and another story. A buddy of mine went through the same thing also. But yeah, he went all the way. So basically, it's just like going to the Philippines and getting married to this girl, but it did not work out. It just did not work out. He and I saw dedication in his eyes. That he did everything, but it's always that significant other that doesn't want to have anything with that. But with that being said, with this love scam and all that stuff, that leads to you becoming broke. Like I said about myself, also, like I kept on sending money. I eventually started noticing that I'm losing money too. So, but for expats there in the Philippines, like I feel so bad for them. I was watching other YouTube channels. I was watching um, them explaining how they became broke, they became homeless, even though they put so much energy and money into building the house, for all of them, including himself. It became, oh, it's my house, it's not your house. And they're like, what? It's I put so much money into that. You didn't put out anything. So, and yeah, it sucks for them because there's a lot of retired expats in the Philippines that are actually homeless. And you can watch this on YouTube, and it's not fair. And I'm not saying that all Filipino girls are like that. No, they're not. Just the ones that the retirees or expats has encountered. you know. But a good majority of them had found somebody after that, and their life has turned around, which is good. I like reading something like that, a good story afterwards. Um, but going there the first time, it just wasn't a good experience for them. And that's the number one thing too, is don't don't send them money. That should be a red flag. You're supposed to get to know the person, to hang out with the person and all that stuff. Don't just start giving money because they're asking you. And for these expats, like, you guys got to take it slow. That's the reason why they want to retire in the Philippines, is because they want to enjoy a better life for themselves, don't don't start going to the clubs or to the bars to meet young ladies, because they're just trouble. They're just trouble when you meet someone at the club or at the bar, especially for your age. You're supposed to settle down, meet someone who is close to your age. Don't make it like you guys are 20, 30 years apart. You're 60 years old and you want to hook up with a 19-year-old. Like, it's like a 19-year-old taking care of their own grandparents already. That shouldn't be happening. But evidently it does happen. And then they go broke because all their resources has been eaten up, has been taken. And I feel bad for them. I really do. And I'm not saying that all Filipino girls are like that. There are a lot of good Filipino girls out there. Just don't pick the ones that's in the bar or on dating sites, because a lot of them are untruthful when it comes to putting stuff on their profile. So that's one of the things that you got to be aware of and stuff. Mind you, I love the Philippines. I would love to retire there when I get old, and I don't want to be homeless. Before you go there, you guys have to have like something that you can live off of. If you have social security or pension that will pay you every month, you live with that means within your budget. Don't overspend, and or else you're gonna be homeless, and that leads to homelessness. And there's a lot in the Philippines that are homeless, especially the expat after meeting that significant other. And it's hard. It's hard watching the video. It's hard reading the things that they say. Like they don't have enough money to get back to the US or Canada or wherever they came from. They don't have enough money to support themselves for emergency, especially if they have medical condition, right? There was one person that I was watching. I think he's diabetic or has high blood pressure, and medication there is not cheap. It is expensive. Hospitalization is not cheap there also in the Philippines. Now, comparing to the homelessness here in this part of the world, in Canada or the US, I mean, the homeless people here are lucky because they have the benefit from the government to support them. And it's sad that they don't get the same support in the Philippines. And I'm not trying to be biased or anything like that. It's just that it's the truth. I guess that is the reason why a lot of people from different countries, not just Philippines but everywhere else, wants to migrate here in Canada or in the US because of those benefits that they can receive. Yeah, I mean, these are the things that people has got to think about sometimes when they make decisions in their life. I've mentioned this to my wife several times that I want to move to the Philippines. I just love it there, but she makes me realize that it's not that easy. You have to have a source of income that will support you. Other than that, have money so that you can build business for yourself. over there, and you could live off of that income, you know. But these are the things I'm thinking about also, because that's what I want, for myself. But I also think about how grateful that we are living in this part of the world where we do have these benefits, and we should take advantage of those benefits. It Hey, we got free Medicare, right? We can go to the hospital, see a doctor, and it's all covered, you know. So yeah, this topic is really intriguing to me, because um, I never knew what love scam was. I did my research. I did my best to understand, so that I can share this on my podcast. Make people aware that it's not always green on the other side, right? So you just have to prepare yourself, for things, for the decisions that you make in your life. And if you want to retire in a different place, prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. But if it doesn't go that way, just stay here. Just stay here. But for me, I would love to go back to the Philippines. I love it there. It's such a beautiful place. I know it's hot. Whew, I was like sweating like a monkey, you know, everywhere. Even when I sat down and not think about the heat and all that stuff, I was sweating. Just thinking made me sweat. Even if I took a breath, it made me sweat. Oh my goodness, I was even sweating when I was taking a shower over there. But you know what? I love it. I love it. I'd rather be in a place where it's nice and warm, or even hot, than to be in a place where it's cold and you're sick all the time and all that stuff. But yeah. Yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this portion of my podcast. There will be more videos to come. And yeah, I hope you guys like it. Until next time, I'll see you guys again. And don't forget to subscribe.